If I met Xhaka now, I would say to him, how dare you swear at the fans? But the reason why, and I'm talking to Xhaka right now, the reason why you are making money is because the fans are there. If there were no fans, you'd not be making the amount of money that you do. Welcome back to the MVP podcast. My name is Bman. I'm here with Sosa, and the setup has changed completely.
Upgrade.
We are actually upgraded. You guys don't even understand. This is levels.
This is new levels.
Yeah, we got lighting. We've got 3 cameras running at the same time. We got a microphone. We got a goddamn couch, bro.
Yo, you don't understand how we lounging.
Anyway, so
that cupboard.
Yo, listen, he's taking the mic out of the other room. Yo, the other room was lit. That's like that took away. Like, that was the first one, you know.
You know, that's like home, and then you leave your home and you get your big place.
That's all it is. That's all this is. Anyway, so we just came back from watching the Carabao Cup.
Carabao.
I can't
The
even
milk
pronounce
cup.
it. He's saying that because he lost to us.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Just done
God
with
damn.
that.
No, I'm not done with that yet.
I had enough from the guys. down at
Rashford
the
can't
spot.
score to save his life, but he put 2 past you.
Set pieces. That's all he knows.
Hey, listen,
That's
he
all
scored
knows.
goals. Don't hate.
He
Anyway,
scored from
so the funny
open
thing
play.
is, he watched the Manchester United Chelsea game. Me being a Man United fan, I didn't even watch the Manchester United game. I watched the Liverpool Arsenal game.
got
But let me
lucky.
explain to you why. Well, first of all, that game was unbelievable. But we was the cafe I was sat at. They just refused to play the Man United game. They're like, no, we're watching Liverpool.
You got bare Liverpool fans there.
There are plenty of Liverpool fans, and it was like an under 21 game.
Yeah, both of the games were like under 29
Yeah.
games, with like sprinkled with first teamers.
Yeah, not even first teamers, like bench warmers, like edge of the first team.
I think Liverpool and Arsenal, they had a lot more. Well, to be fair, it's not like they had a lot more, but they were less recognisable.
I didn't know anyone on the bench.
I didn't even
Like, for
recognise
real.
some of the first teamers, if I'm being honest.
Like that. But regardless of that, the Liverpool game
Talk to me
was
about it, man.
TT 10-10.
Talk to me about it.
Yeah. So first of all, you got 2 goalkeepers that clearly couldn't save anything, sprinkled in with a couple of wonder goals,
Okay.
and what was really like just an all-round, just high-tempo game. Like generally, it was really enjoyable. There's a lot of things going on at Arsenal at the moment. Now they've lost. Unai Emery was already like hot waters. Like this guy could get sacked any moment. We could probably
his
leave this
boots are on
spot now.
fire.
We could leave this spot right now and he could have gotten sacked. But there's a lot of things that are building up. And the first thing that I wanted to talk to you about is Xhaka. I don't know if you remember what he did in the last game,
I
but
remember.
he swore at the fans after they booed him.
The Arsenal fans remember.
Arsenal fan definitely remember. Can I just say one thing about that?
Go on.
How dare you? If I met Xhaka now, I would say to him, how dare you swear at the fans?
Yeah, it's uncalled for.
He has no right. He has no right to do anything about the fans. The fans are booing for a reason. Figure it out. What is it that they're booing you about? Yes, I understand that he's a bit of a scapegoat. I'm okay with that. But the amount of mistakes that he makes in a game is ridiculous. He doesn't offer enough for what the fans want. That's the reason why a lot of them want him out. And the reason why Nike are sponsoring is because of the fans. If there's no interest, then why the hell would Nike sponsor you? Because remember, the reason why they sponsor you is just so that the fans can go out and buy your gear and buy their stuff. You are being paid purely because of the fans. How dare you?
One thing I was going to say was Emery, in a press conference, I think it was before the game, they were asking about what's going to happen with Xhaka. Have you spoken to him? And he was saying when he came in for training, he was fine. He was you know, the rest of the teammates, they didn't want him to be stripped of the captaincy, which in and of itself, it's a case of, well, look, if there's pressure from the actual stadium for him to be stripped of the captaincy, I don't think the players will be able to stand in the way of like that much intense pressure.
Yeah.
But having said that, when they're asked about what's going to happen with him, he says it's a case of he may end up needing to see some sort of therapy in regards to
Really?
Yeah, like that's what I saw on the BBC football site.
Okay.
In regards to, and this was like them discussing about what holds the future for Xhaka. So it sounds like it's really got to him. Like it's got to a point where like it's
his mental health now.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that at all. But at the same time, again,
But again, this is just the manager speaking. I've not heard anything else regarding Xhaka himself, whether he's actually said that he's going to...
Well, one thing that he did do, though, and this is quite funny, is I don't know how much you guys read into this. I tend to read into this a lot. He changed his Instagram profile picture. From him wearing the captaincy for Arsenal to him wearing the captaincy for Switzerland. Hey, that says a lot. Timing is crucial, like really crucial.
I'm not going to say anything.
No?
Because that reminds me of another player that did that.
Who did that?
It buns me to this day, man.
Oh, who's that?
My boy, man.
Who's your boy?
David Luiz. He had the Chelsea shirt, he had the Chelsea kit. As soon as he signed, he switched it. And I was getting tweets from people saying, "Yo, you still got the banner up of me," and you've seen my
David Luiz.
And man, that of all transfers, that's hurt me the most.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Enough about Arsenal. I don't want to talk about Arsenal.
Okay.
Arsenal.
Yeah. Tell me about the Chelsea Man United game.
This game was probably the most frustrating game for a Chelsea fan to watch.
Okay.
Like for Man United fans, they're probably used to this. It's serious, like, because if the game went it was a 1-0 it was 1-0 to Man United, and that was due to a really soft it was a penalty to be fair. If they didn't get that goal, completely different game.
Seriously.
And it's a case of where Man United now, they can't sit back and they can't just attack if they're down one. If they're down one, they're finished. But if they're up one, they'll sit back and protect that for life. And that's what it felt like. For a long period of the game, Chelsea would just dominate possession, and they would just sit back. I think they started off with a 5-3-2, and then as soon as they started with the 3-5-2. As soon as the goal happened, they went 5 at the back, and you didn't watch the game. Man United fans would run with that result because it's a brilliant result.
Yeah, we'll take a win. At the moment, we'll take any win.
That was Mourinho-esque.
Yeah.
And people talk to me about, we don't know what Solskjaer's doing. Solskjaer's pulling a Mourinho and you don't even know it. Like, seriously, he's pulling a Mourinho and you don't even know it, because the way that your guys are set up, it's not a case of we're here to win. We're just here to get something. Like, we'll sit back the entire time and we'll just hit you on a break. Because that's what they're doing. As soon as the free kick happened, because I have to give it to Rashford. He was a belter. He won the free kick, and it was like, it could have been like 35 plus yards, and he just rifled it. Like, I've watched Chelsea play football like that for like 8 years, and I didn't like it, but we won league titles doing that.
True.
So Man United fans can sit through it if they know they're going to get results like that. The only problem is, it only works with big teams. They'll struggle with small teams. When small teams sit back...
True. There's nothing you can do to break it up. Yeah.
Exactly. It's just going to be a stalemate. That's why you get these 0-0s. That's why Man United are scoring such low amount of goals this season. Come
back to my game. Let's because there's one more thing I wanted to mention about the Liverpool Arsenal team. First of all, Liverpool still unbeaten at home for like dog years. Literally, like the last 2 years or so, they haven't lost a single game at Anfield. So I was a bit disappointed in that. I was really hoping that they'd get their first loss. But another situation that is going on there is the OZIL situation. This guy is not getting any games. He gets put on and he has a world-class performance. If you are Unai Emery, what are you doing next?
If I was him, you have to stick to your guns. If you've there was talks that if he was been exiled, that the owners were saying, you know what, we're happy with you, what you're doing, we're fully backing you. How are you going to back down now and decide, even though I get where you're coming from, if he's going to be winning games, if he's going to be world class, it's going to have to make you question your position. But you've got to grow some balls and be like, you know what, if this is the case.
But you need to understand is he kind of let loose of the string when he played him today.
I was confused, but you know what,
the fact that he played means, look, he just literally made it a lot worse for himself.
He did, 100%. He didn't need to do that. He should have just sat him down and then... How long has he got left in his contract? He's got a few years left in his contract,
I believe so. He signed a new contract when Sanchez left.
Yeah, they stuck with him, man. I don't even know why he was in exile in the first place, man. This guy, it's not like he's going to go anywhere. 300 grand a week. He's not going nowhere.
Yeah, so it's not even just a case of him going anywhere, really. It's just a case of, look, he's played now. You had him in the starting lineup. Are you going to play him? Would you play him?
Me, personally, well, I'd start him because he's a threat.
He's that good.
He's that good. And guys like Lacazette and Aubameyang, I remember watching the Sheffield United game. These guys were tracking back all the way to the fullbacks.
Yeah, but
and they were missing that person in midfield, because you've got guys that will link up the defense with the midfield. Yeah. There was no one linking up the midfield with the attack.
No, and you know what? I had this like a really big issue with playing Aubameyang out wide, and even Aubameyang himself says that he prefers to play through the centre because he likes to score goals.
Of course.
But if you look at Liverpool's system, Firmino's not there to score goals. It's a bonus, but he's not there to score goals. His aim really is try and get the wingers involved and just play the ball wide. If they have Ozil, Aubameyang playing on the left wing, it's not such a big deal, because then he can do exactly what Mane does. How many goals does Mane get?
Oh, he gets ridiculous.
Right?
I mean, both Mane and Lacazette were top goal scorers in the league last year.
And Aubameyang. No, it wasn't Lacazette.
No, not Lacazette.
It was Salah, Mane, and Aubameyang. All three of them scored 21 goals last year.
Oh yeah, it was them three.
Yeah.
The thing is, we know there's a precedent. We know that wingers can get goals. When guys like Lionel Messi are getting 50, I'm pretty sure a guy like Lacazette could get 20.
Yeah, exactly. This is what's funny about Arsenal. They have 2 of the top 10 strikers in the world on the team.
Really?
Yeah. You cannot name me 9 strikers better than them. You can.
I think I'm gonna give you that, because I can't off the top of my head. I can't give you 9.
Yeah, you couldn't, and that includes the assumption that Ronaldo is a striker now.
Oh yeah,
and they're still considered top 10. If you don't consider Ronaldo a striker, then that even just cements it for me that they are the two of the top 10 strikers in the world, and they're on the same team.
They're feeding off scraps as well. Like they could legit be getting way more goals.
Yeah, they could. Genuinely, with Ozil, that's the thing. It is funny.
That team, they've been in a rut for so many years, and you've seen teams go through cycles. And you're talking about, I remember a while back you were talking about this. Was it the Liverpool? Not Liverpool, the Tottenham team going through a cycle and their time of change. Like, how long has Arsenal been going through this?
What do you mean with the current squad that they've got?
Well, not just the current squad. They're just like
you feel like they hit the cycle, the end of the cycle. I don't necessarily think that they're the same as
they're not the same.
Tottenham.
They're not the same, because Tottenham they've
had the same cast for like a long time.
But as far as what they've achieved, it's
minimal. But that again, a lot of it's come down to their defensive issues. They signed David Luiz. The way I see that, and I'm sorry, I know you're a big David Luiz fan. What I'm about to say is going to hurt you a lot. But this is like trying to cover up a massive crack in the wall with a Tesco bag and some sellotape. Yeah,
I like to describe it as covering up a knife wound with plaster.
Yeah.
Like, you know what, David Luiz, he's a luxury.
He really is a luxury.
He's a luxury.
I like that. He really is.
If you have a solid, no-nonsense centre-back with him, then you'd be fine with him like doing those crazy little runs from especially if you've got a holding midfielder like we had Kante and we had Cahill who could do a job. Go run. But when you've got like obviously Socrates is a solid centre back.
He's all right.
But then you got like guys like Guendouzi, who's
don't take the mick out.
He's a good player as far as like recycling the ball. But he's not like a proper defensive minded.
He's not holding mid. And then you've got be classed at holding.
Then you've got Xhaka. That's supposed to be the holding mid.
Yeah, but if they address the right issues, then they need to look into a player like Ndidi from Leicester.
Oh yeah, Ndidi would
do wonders. Yeah, for the back line, 100%. But at the same time, David Luiz, they need to replace him. He was a replacement. He needs to be replaced. Got Tierney on the right. I think they need a new right back, but I think that's taking the conversation in a completely different direction. As
far as the Chelsea Man United game, I was happy as a Chelsea fan. This is what I've been waiting for like years. I remember watching the team play for like back in 2002 when we had. I think it was a season. I can't remember if it was it was definitely before Abramovich. We were the first Premier League team to have 0 players from the home nations. To have a starting 11 full of players that were not from the home nations. So no Irish.
Arsenal went through a period like that as well.
Yeah, no Irish, no English, no Scottish, no Welsh players. we've now got to a stage where we are playing guys like obviously Tomori didn't play, but we still got guys like Mason Mount, Reece James, Tammy Abraham.
What was the right back that played for you guys today?
Reece James.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's got
How
pace.
old is he?
He's 19.
Wow. He looked tough.
He's still a bit raw, but he's definitely got potential. The only problem that he has is he's fighting with Aspilicueta for that right back spot.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be fighting at this stage. At this stage, he should just be learning. Learn from Aspilicueta, if anything.
Here's the thing. As far as players in the same, not position, but like in the same level as him, you've got guys like Mason Mount, who is his competition. And you're looking at guys like, because he's playing more centrally, he's competing with Ross Barkley and sometimes Pulisic. Ross Barkley's falling out of the starting 11
very quickly.
Yeah, day by day, he's getting less and less game time. Guys like Callum Hudson-Odoi, he's pretty much boxed off that left wing, and Pedro is now playing. He's relegated to coming off the bench in a cup game. So, like, as far as Reece James, he has to compete with a guy who's club captain, who went an entire season when we won the Premier League and didn't miss a single minute. So that's what he's competing against. Yeah. So it's going to be difficult for him. He played like 50 games like in the past couple of years. Yeah. On loan when he was at Wigan and that.
Yeah, but again, he's 19. I think when they're that young, Aspilicueta eventually he'll have his time where he needs to leave. But I think the way that he needs to look at it is, okay, well, I've had a game under my belt. When I get another game, I'll just take my chances and just learn. And that's the whole point.
One thing I would say is that the transfer, people talk about the transfer ban like it was a blessing. And I saw the interview with Frank Lampard before the game, and he says, whether the transfer ban was there or not, I was still going to play these kids because he's seen it when he was a young kid at West Ham. Harry Redknapp took a chance on him, and I remember that press conference that where one of the guys was saying, "What about so and so that he sold? Why didn't you tell him?" He goes, "Listen, mate, Frank's got it. I don't want to tell him to his face, but he's going to go places. He's going to hit the top levels." And when you've got confidence, when you've got given confidence by a manager, that gives you so much belief in you that he's now been able to say, "Look, guys, forget what's happening so far. Forget the transfer ban. This is your time to shine."
True. Anyway, we're going to put a stop to it there. Guys, thank you so much for listening and watching. Please share, like, subscribe, do what you can do, and then we're going to be back again soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, peace.